How's everybody doing today? This is our first live now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You gotta do the intro, man. You freezing up right
Okay.
now.
Well, it's our first live. This is podcast 37 for everybody. We have been here for a little while. We're enjoying things. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, like what's below on the screen. I'm your boy, Money or F Money, and this is my partner in crime for the pod.
Jace the HD, aka Jace the Two Wavy. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm great, man. What about you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We got a lot of juicy topics to talk about today, per usual. We gotta talk about the state of college sports, everything going on. We talked about NIL last week. Now we gotta talk about other things going on in college sports. We also gotta talk about the coaching carousel with the NFL. And obviously, we got to finish off with the NFL playoffs and our predictions and recap the games from last week. And by the way, I was able to go 5-1 in my picks. Money 4-2. Maybe he'll be better this time. But it was a great week of football. Nothing really caught me out of surprise. Nothing really caught me off guard too much. It was a lot of big plays being made, and it was one shocker. I ain't gonna lie, it was one shocker. I wasn't expecting the Jacksonville to lose, but we'll get to that later. The first thing we're going to hop into, as I said earlier, the state of college football, basically how me and Money see things currently. And it's a lot. It's a lot from the aspect of how the transfer portal has changed to the creation of NILs. And I think it's getting out of control, first and foremost. I think it's starting to get a little too much because if you look at it, in the beginning, it was like when I first heard that they are changing the transfer portal rules, I was super excited about it. As a former college athlete myself, I was like, yo, this is dope. Because I remember back when we were in school in college, if you wanted to transfer, you had to sit out a year. And so to go from that to being immediately eligible after the transfer, I thought it would be like, all right, cool. People are going to have the opportunity to transfer if they're on a team where things just aren't working out. But it has slowly it has turned into something where guys aren't willing to compete anymore. It's heartbreaking for a former competitor like myself, and I know you're super competitive as well, Money. As someone who loves to compete, to see these kids out here not wanting to compete, just looking for an easy out, like, oh well, you're not going to play me as a freshman. I'm going to go somewhere else, and it's like you got to compete, you got to get better, you got to prove yourself day in and day out. And a lot of these kids aren't willing to do that anymore. They just want things handed to them. A perfect example is the guy from Nebraska, Dylan Raiola. He was the starting quarterback in Nebraska. Things weren't going well there. So he transferred to Oregon thinking he's going to have a nice plushy quarterback job. And lo and behold, their starting quarterback, Dante Moore, comes back. So now he's going to be a backup for a year, and he loses a year. Because honestly, it was no reason for him to transfer. To the research I did on it, it was very small and brief. I may be wrong because I didn't dive too deep into it. But from the research I did do on it, he didn't lose his job. He was still the starter. So I didn't understand why you were transferring. You're trying to go to where the grass is greener, and it literally is green. They have better talent than your team. But because of that better talent, they have a better quarterback than you. So now you're going to be a backup.
You know why he left? He left because of this. That's why he left.
Yeah.
That money. That's the main reason. I'm going to say, while you were talking about him, I have two examples. My first example is Ole Miss quarterback, Chamberlain. The thing with him is this man has been in school for 5 years already. And I'm going to break it down for you. 21, he was a freshman. He redshirted. Okay, that's understandable. 2022, medical redshirt. Okay. 2023, he was at Ferris State. 2024, he was at Ferris State. 2025, he went to Ole Miss. Now this man is trying to get a 6th year to be eligible. Like, come on, bro. Like, how many years you want to be in college? 25?
And because of NIL, that's the thing. These kids want to be in college a lot longer than before. Like they're begging for extra years. I have a couple names here. TJ Finley, who I actually really liked when he first got to college. TJ Finley was entering, he's now currently entering his 7th year of college football, his 7th season. All right. Then we got David Reese, an edge rusher for Syracuse this past season. He's entered his 8th season. Then we had Jared Folks a couple years ago. This is, I want to say, the year after COVID, 2021 or so. That was his 8th season. Then you got Dorian Messiah, a quarterback, entering his 7th season. It's like these kids are trying to be in college football until they're 47.
47.
I don't understand it. And it's a lot of them know, okay, if I'm making even the like, let's say you're making $1 million in college football. You go to the NFL and you get drafted in the 5th or 6th round, you're making, a little less than that, maybe around the same. And then you potentially lose your job before the season even start because, guys are cutting stuff. If you're a practice squad player, they make significantly. I want to say practice squad guys make around anywhere from 150 to 300K. I'm not sure on those numbers, but they don't make as much as, obviously guys on the roster. And then you get your game day checks and et cetera, et cetera. But the point being is it just doesn't make any sense, man. Like the whole goal growing up was like, hey, I want to be a pro athlete. I want to be a pro athlete. And it's like, what are you waiting for? And I'll be honest, man. These kids who are going into year 4, they're going into year 3 and being in 4 different colleges. Maybe you're not cut out to be a pro athlete, and that's okay. Not everyone's good to be a pro athlete. I unfortunately was not good enough to be a pro athlete, and it's a part of it. It's a part of life, and you have to accept that. If you've been in 4 colleges in 3 years, you just got to accept the reality, man. Is it hard? Absolutely, it's hard, especially when you planning your whole life around something that you thought was obtainable until it wasn't. It was until it wasn't.
I agree. You missed out on Cam McCormick. He was a tight end. He's going into his 9th year. He's
done, money. He's a coach
he's
now.
done? Oh, he's a coach? Okay.
That was like a year before. He's a coach now. He coaches for, I want to say, some NFL team. I forget. He's a coach now. Like a scout or something like that. But he's in the front office now.
I was about to say, because it's like it's crazy, man. These dudes are being in college. I'm gonna say my main thing, another big thing to me is basically the talent pool of the conferences, right? The SEC and the Big Ten, like their talented teams looks like it's far in between better than the other conferences. Well, the ACC has Miami who's balling out, but besides that, SEC has like so many schools, and like due to like these 2 divisions becoming so big, a lot of rivalries are being left. That that what's going on. Like Oregon and Oregon State. Wait, isn't Oregon State? They aren't they still in the Pac-12 or what it was beforehand? What it used to be?
It's like 2 teams left over there, which I'm not sure how that works, but yes.
So
which you would think that would open the doors, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, Mike.
No, you're good.
You would think that would open the doors for these smaller tier schools that's been dominating. Like, why is North Dakota State not moved up yet? They should be in the Pac-12. All these lower tier schools that's been dominating, who deserve to move up, should be in the Pac-12. And all these teams that's been terrible need to move to the Pac-12 so better teams can move into that conference.
Let me tell you why. They can't compete because of NIL, bro. That's why they can't move up. How can I compete with the Oregon who's spending? Didn't Oregon spend like 30, 40 million on his roster? How can I compete with that? When we probably got like a recruit comes to us, hey man, we give you 500,000. 500,000? Shoot, Oregon has offered me 5 million. Why would I come to y'all?
No, that's exactly right. And it's ruining the sport. It's no longer about developing. Like that was just like, man, if I go here, you looked at the history. When I was getting recruited, I looked at the history. How many of you guys you put into the league? Because first I looked at like how many guys you put into the league. Let's start there. And then we'll use Miami, for example. Every year Miami's putting somebody in the league, especially in the early 2000s and the early 90s. So it's like, okay, they always putting somebody into the league. All right, cool. How they put my position into the league? Am I going to have to change position? Like, how is the coaching staff there? What do people say about the coaches? Like, what is the position coach's history? Like, that no matters. It's all about who paying the most money. I ain't worried about nothing else. And I will say, granted, kids are coming out of high school a lot better than back in the day, but we're still getting kids who get to the league and they're not instant impact players. A couple, you have guys like Justin Jefferson, who was an instant impact player his rookie year. And you'll have guys like Malik Neighbors, who was an instant impact rookie year. So you do come across a couple who just are ballers. And then, but most of them, they have no hunger in them. We don't see a lot of Cam Ward stories no more. We used to hear that story all the time. He was at a small school, then he walked on to a big school and he took the job. We used to hear that all the time. Now, you don't hear about it.
Let me ask you this, because I was talking with someone, and they told me that they feel like the players should be paid if they're making, let's say, 20 million for the school. They should be paid based off how much they're making for the school. I don't think any player right now is bringing in 20 million for a school. I don't know. I may sound like I don't know much, but like I'm willing to bet that there's no player with the name of Reggie Bush type of hype,
No.
Vince Young type of hype, Cam Newton type of hype nowadays. There's not one player, because those players, when they came out, they were going, everybody was like, they're going 1 or 2. No questions asked. Matter of fact, they could have been in other drafts and they would have went 1 or 2. Even with Megatron.
Right now who has that type of namesake is Ryan Williams and your boy Miles. Those are the only 2 kids in the country who has that name. Like, oh man, when he comes out, he's gonna be X, Y, and Z. Caleb Downs, but I haven't really heard too much about him this year. Going into this season, you kept hearing, oh, Caleb Downs is like that. Caleb Downs is like that. But after the season, I mean, I think he's obviously still a top 10 pick, but his name isn't as heavy as those 2 guys' names.
He might go 2 because due to the fact that Oregon quarterback went back. But besides that, I don't think he's going to really go number 2 if he would have stayed. And that's another thing, Jay. How many times have we seen a top 5 player guaranteed to go number 2 say, "No, I'm good. I'm going to stay in college"?
I don't think it's a guarantee. He was heavily favored to go number 2.
Well, heavily favored.
Yeah, you see a lot of kids leave for the draft. So it's to see so many. I want to say the past 2 years, we've seen a lot of seniors coming back. Quinn Ewers, I was shocked he came back because I had him going 3rd, 4th round. He came back his senior year and he fell all the way to the 7th round. So we're seeing a lot of seniors come back, and I like to believe it's a lot because of the NIL.
And Jay, think about this, Jay. Being a 3rd round pick, you have more leeway on a team compared to being a 7th round pick. You're going to get cut a lot quicker because a team would be like, well, we use pretty good draft capital on them, so we're not going to cut them. But being a 7th round pick, they're like, bro, are you even going to compete? Like unless you like Brock Purdy, he came on the scene and he did his thing. But besides that, a lot of players in the 7th round aren't given a chance. They're like, teams like, hey, you're right there.
And Brock Purdy was given a chance for lack of options.
Yeah.
They had 2 other quarterbacks get hurt before he finally stepped on the field.
Yeah, that's a fact. So I'll say the NIL, well, for everybody, it's name, image, and likeness. I don't think these players are bringing in the type of money that these superstar type of players was bringing in. Now Smith, he might be bringing in a bag to Ohio State because he's like that. Maybe Ryan Williams, but the Michigan quarterback is getting paid what, $5-6 million a season, and he in Michigan ain't even ranked.
Yeah, he was highly touted coming out. He flipped from, I believe, LSU.
Yeah, he should have stayed. He should have went to LSU. That's what he should have did, because obviously LSU looked like a better option. Look, they got the coach. Your coach in Michigan just got fired. LSU got the hot commodity coach, and now he got
to leave Bryce at the portal, didn't he?
Who?
Because the head coach, Sharon Moore.
Yeah,
Bryce hit the portal.
No, he didn't hit the portal. He didn't hit the portal. He's still there. He's still there. He didn't hit the portal. He's still there. He didn't hit it.
No, yeah, he's still there. I thought he hit the portal because it was a lot of players from Michigan hit the portal.
No, he's still there. And it's crazy. It's crazy that he's there.
Because they signed them contracts. They signed them contracts. You're obligated to be there. That's why we saw them players getting sued. What we talked about last week. You sign a contract for 12 months and then you try to piece out the 6. I'm gonna need my money.
Yeah.
He probably signed some 2-3 year contract to where he's getting that money over and he has to be there.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. You're right about that because I couldn't imagine, paying that type of money to a guy who, to me, hasn't shown he's a game changer.
Right. I mean, he had some moments, but no, I totally agree. I didn't see anything that I was like, yeah, he's the next number 1 pick.
Yeah.
But he is a freshman, so you got to give some grace, bro.
Anything you've seen that you're like, maybe he could be great? Or you're like, nah.
Yeah, like I said, he's made some throws. I was like, okay, that's big time. So, like I said, he is a freshman. You got to give him some grace. His school is going through a scandal, the second scandal in 4 years. So, there's a lot going on there. And it's hard to get talent to a school to where it's a lot going on off the field. So, you got to give him some grace.
Okay, gotcha.
And I respect the fact he stayed, too. He could have easily tucked tail and run and jumped in the portal. But he stayed. Like I said, it might be contractually why he stayed, but the fact he stayed, I do like that.
Okay. Well, anything else you got regarding this topic, or are you good?
I'm good.
All right. Well, we're moving on to our next topic, which is, for everybody who knows, we're going to be talking about them playoffs, man. I'll say we talk about the coaches last. I want to talk about the playoffs.
Yeah. We're going to talk about it last? Okay.
Yes.
That's a little backwards.
I'm looking forward to this playoffs, man. So I'm going to break down the AFC. Jay's going to break down NFC. We're going to talk about our predictions and everything and who we expect to meet in a divisions and who we expect to potentially go to the Super Bowl with this new update due to the fact that doggone Jaguars got beat. But we'll talk about that later. So the AFC, the Steelers got beat 30-6. Were you surprised that it was that bad? Were you surprised that the Steelers lost? How do you feel about this game?
I feel the Steelers on a good team. I've been saying it all year. People like to let that 10 and what was it? They were 10 and I forget the record. 11 and they let their positive record. They let their 10-6 record fool you into thinking they're a good 10-7, excuse me, into thinking they're a good team. So they're not. They weren't, and we saw that. The Texans have one of the best defenses in the league, and it was put on full display when they got a 72-year-old quarterback who has no escapability anymore. We saw it.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm gonna bring up the stats for that game because it was really, really bad. CJ Strauss threw for over 250 and he had a touchdown. Wood Marks, he had 112 yards. Woody Marks had a touchdown and 112 yards. And then Christian Kirk had 8 receptions, 144 yards. So the Texans, they really did their thing on offense. And then the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers. Listen to this, G. 146 yards, 0 touchdowns. You didn't get 1 touchdown. None.
Hey, touchdowns come at a premium in the NFL, man.
Jay, Warren, their running back, 12 carries for 43 yards. What? And then your superstar receiver, everybody's saying this man is the next big thing. 2 receptions for 42 yards. Really?
Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Come on.
Even looking at the construction of the team, it has no rhyme or rhythm. Like you got a deep threat, then you have a possession receiver. Like there's no consistency through it. And then running back Jalen Warren was in and out a lot towards the end of the year with injuries. So yeah, it was just a bad team. Just a bad team. And I'm not surprised by that one. How did you feel about that game?
I thought they were gonna get beat, but I ain't expect them to get beat like that, man.
I
It's like
didn't.
you got that little brother. It's like you playing your little brother in basketball, and you like, yeah, man, I'm gonna treat you, and that's what happened to them, man.
Yeah.
They got treated. Okay, I'm gonna say the next game. I ain't even bring up the stats. 'Cause I was so disappointed in the doggone Jaguars, man. And I was so sad, bro. I didn't bring up the stats. I got the stats for the next game, but I was so disappointed, man. The doggone Jaguars let me down, man. Jaguars versus the Bills. The Bills beat the Jaguars 27-4. At one point in the fourth quarter, they let Josh Allen run for 12 to 13 yards on a quarterback sneak. I'm gonna say this, Jay, and I told you this when I was in the car and we were talking about the game, that the Jaguars not kicking that field goal and going for it instead came back to hunt them. Remember we were talking about that? You know, it's like watch that comes back to hunt them, and they lost by 3.
It was a long field goal, though, man. He already missed one earlier too. So you put him back out there, and he missed that one. Now he's in his own head. So
Well, that was early when remember when the Bills fumbled on that kickoff return, so it shouldn't have been too bad. They were at what, the 30, so it'd have been a 47 yarder at worst.
I don't know. I don't blame his decision to be aggressive there. Uh, I was more disappointed with like give your team a chance. Trevor Lawrence has to give his team a chance there. We get out there, everyone on the edge of their seat, like, all right, they finna drive down this field and make a play. The very first pass intercepted. Like that's something that can carry over into next year. Like that's how deflating of a play it is. Like you can be in like, damn, in training camp money, you just be like, damn, we really lost this nigga through interception on the first play. Like, like that's something that lingers. Because the way you lose, I'm telling you, bro, the way you lose will linger, and that's a lingering loss.
Yes.
You can't turn it over on the first play. You can turn it over with 3 seconds left, fourth down. You're on goal, go. It's like we need it, and then it's like, oh man, he got him down there though. The first play, so disappointing. Even more disappointing the fact that we both had Jacksonville winning it all. I mean, man, that's disappointing. Josh Allen got 12 yards on the QB sneak. Make it make sense. It's just so many, like the nigga literally was picked up. Like it's video evidence of him being picked up and walked forward. And it's like the officiating's bad in the NFL. I don't understand why the officiating is so terrible in the NFL, but it's horrendous. And they need to do something about it. I don't
Hey
know if
Jay,
they need to have a seminar on how to properly call, like have every call, like, hey, you see this? That was missed. We can't have that.
here's what happened. Didn't they make a
missed.
makeup call? Didn't make a makeup call. That's a bad call too. That's how it happened. We missed a pass interference.
So
but
we'll
now
give
we
you
gonna
one
call
down the
roughing the
road.
pass.
And it's like,
Yes.
bro, I hate that too, because now you got 2 bad calls. It's like, are we gonna call this holding? And it's like, where was the holding? Well, we owed them one. That's like, no, bro, we're not doing this. So yeah, Trevor gotta give his team a chance. You can't put your team in the position. You can't be the hero and then go out there and shit the bed. You know what that reminded me of?
Hey, Jay Joker just posted something. He said, bro, I still remember our QB fumbling the snap on our own 15 back in high school to lose our playoff game my junior year.
Yeah, you can't have that, bro. You can't.
That ever happen to you, Jay?
He reminds me of the Brett Favre conversation. You win with Brett and you lose with Brett. And that's exactly how I felt watching this nigga turn that bitch over in the very first pass he threw. Like, I'm like, dog, this can't be real life.
Man. Hey Jay.
What's the next one, man?
I'm gonna say this. Have you ever had a heartbreaking playoff loss?
Yeah. We had however, it was a game before state. I was in Tampa, and we were driving down the field. We were down. We were about to get in field goal range, kick the field goal, go to state. Right. Well, at the time, James Wilder, you can Google him for people who don't know who that is.
I know
He
who
was
he
a
is.
defensive end. James Wilder comes off the end and power bombs our quarterback into the earth, and he's out for the rest of the game. So when our backup quarterback came in, we already knew it was over. He was so scared, bro. He's in the huddle stuttering. So, all right, it was like, oh my God, we finna lose. And so his first drop back, James comes off the edge again. He just falls down. And now we're out of field goal range. This high school kickers we're talking about. So now we out of field goal range. In the next play, he runs out.
What down was
chucks
it?
Downfield. That was first down. So we went from a 1st and 10 after Big Cliff got power bombed and was out. It was first and like 7. It was 2nd and 17. So then our backup comes in and he just drops to the ground. So now we're 3rd and forever. And so then 3rd down, he just hails it downfield. And now it's 4th and forever. They're playing prevent and we lose. To be this close to playing in the state championship game. Because they couldn't stop us. We kept getting 3 yards first down, 3 yards, 4 yards first. Like we kept moving the ball. So we felt real confident. And then one missed block. James Wilder is slamming our quarterback on the ground. Cliff not getting up. James Wilder's walking back to the sideline. And then it's just finito.
Man. Oh, make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. We really appreciate that. Especially with this being our first live and everything. And Jay, that's insane that he power bombed your quarterback.
Yeah, flag ref didn't all know it was no unnecessary roughness, no nothing. When this dude was being suplexed in the middle of the football field, there was no flag on him. But this was like, what's our next game, Money?
Our next game is the Patriots versus the Chargers. I'm gonna just be honest, Jay. That game was boring to me, bro. That game was so boring. It was low scoring. It seemed like every time Justin Herbert dropped back the pass, he was getting sacked. Like that game was just boring to me. I'm gonna bring up the stats of that one. We both picked the Chargers to lose. We just felt like they were too injured and they weren't that good. Justin Herbert had 159 yards and 0 touchdowns, but he carried the ball 10 times for 57 yards. And then your top receiver had 3 catches for 32 yards. Like, you all weren't doing anything on offense.
Nope.
Yeah, Justin Herbert had a rush.
At some point, we got to hold the measuring stick to Justin Herbert. We can't keep giving him a pass. Injuries is a part of the game. Every year, I hear people talk about oh, well, he had a bunch of injuries. Oh, well, so-and-so got hurt. Injuries is a part of the game, man. At some point, you got to elevate your team. Patrick Mahomes was out there playing with dudes who ain't played offensive line since high school out there, hitting niggas in the face mask in the Super Bowl. Ain't nobody give him a pass.
Yes.
So at some point, you got to elevate your team, Justin. I didn't think he played well at all. He had 10 carries for 57 yards. He's not a running back, so I'm not impressed by that number. You got to put your team in situations to win. I think Harbaugh also coached a bad game. It was like a 3rd and 9, and he calls like a draw play. It was just, I think Harbaugh was a very sharp coach, but I thought he coached a bad game. So everyone had a hand in that. Amari Hampton, who I love, played awful. He had like 3 carries, -3 yards, and got benched.
I heard he was still injured.
Yeah, they say he was still injured, but he ran backwards one play. He tried to make a guy miss instead of going forward, but they said he was hurt too. So either way, it was bad. He re-aggravated that ankle he was dealing with, so he didn't play to the standard I knew he can play to. Just a bad game from the Chargers. They're like a bad offense. They're like a bad coach team, and it showed. And the Patriots, they didn't look too hot either.
No, here's the stats. Drake May had 268 yards, 1 touchdown. 10 carries for 66 yards. So your quarterback is your leading rusher. And then he had Stevenson had 3 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown. So your running back is your top receiver? What's going on with that?
Ramondre Stevens he's actually a sneaky good receiving back. He's had a couple games where he had over 50 plus yards. So I think his receiving ability out the backfield is underutilized and underestimated. But also, he shouldn't be your leading receiver. I give him his props. He is a good receiving back, but he shouldn't be your leading receiver. With guys like Stephon Diggs supposed to be rejuvenated on the team, and who else they got out there? They got Booty's out there as well. He shouldn't be a leading receiver.
I'm with you, man. But like you said, like I remember they always would say, "Oh, he's a bad receiver." I'm like, not from what I'm seeing. This dude is he's actually making plays on the field every single time I see him. He's out there making a play, and I'm like, wow, like this guy has so much potential as a receiving back, but they're not giving him the type of targets he needs.
Right. They even drafted a running back, so I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if Ramondre's on a different team next year, and then Trey Henderson take over that full-time duties in the backfield. So
let me ask you this: if he gets traded or whatever, because it's more likely he's going to get traded. Because I don't know if he's a free agent, but if he gets traded, where do you think he would go? Like, give me a team that you think could use his services.
A big bruising back. I can see him a couple places actually. The first one off the top of my head is the Texans. They need a running back. Mixon is terrible. I don't care what nobody says. He can't stay healthy. Nick Chubb looks like a shell of himself, and then Woody Marks is arisen. But we also seen Dameon Pierce arisen, and then next year it looks like stir fry, and now he's unemployed. So I can see the same thing happen with Woody Marks. Minnesota can use a running back. I think it's time for your boy to hang it up. He did not look good this year. He looked like an old running back finally.
Aaron Jones?
Yeah, he looked like an old running back finally.
Oh, man. I was thinking probably the Steelers because neither one of their running backs is really that big.
Yeah, Jalen Warren's not that big. I mean, they like Jalen Warren a lot, but I can see him getting replaced there. The Rams, Kyron Williams is a good back, but he's not very big. You can give him a change of pace instead of having two guys the same size as your change of pace. So it's a couple teams where it could work out.
Bucks, because Rashad White is talking about he's leaving.
Yeah, he's out of Tampa. He's out of Tampa. But they got Bucky Irvin. They like Bucky Irvin a lot. I think he'll be on a limited role if he goes to Tampa. Maybe the Saints. I think Alvin Kamara is definitely on the downside.
Yeah, I think he's done, bro. I'm gonna just call it what it is.
Like, so the Saints could be an option. They like Keandre Miller, but he can't stay healthy. He's been hurt 2 out of the 3 years he's been in the league. So
okay, that's a few good ones. I'll say now we're on to the NFC, everybody. This is what we're doing, the recaps right now, and then we'll do our predictions. Jay, I'll let you go with this. You're probably going to talk about your Panthers, the first game.
Yes, the Rams beat the Carolina Panthers 34-31. My Panthers put up a hell of a fight, bro. Let's call it what it is. They put up a hell of a fight. They almost pulled off a major upset. Stafford threw for 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Puka had 10 catches for 111 yards and 1 touchdown on 13 targets. He had 13 or 14 targets, bro. He didn't have 47 targets like some wide receivers in the NFL. But, I mean, the Rams' offense is crazy, bro. Stafford's going to find a way to get Puka the ball, and Puka's going to find a way to make an insane catch. It's that simple. Bryce threw for 264 in the touchdown. He also threw a pick as well. He threw the ball 40 times, and Bryce isn't the quarterback that needs to throw the ball 40 times. It was one of the games where I felt like he didn't have the juice to make it happen, and it's not all on him. Rico Dowdle, who I gave his flowers to last week, in our last episode. Did he get off the bus money? Did he play? He has 5 carries for 9 yards. I could have did that, and I ain't played football in 10 years. So it's like, what are we doing? He didn't play well. Bryce led us in rushing. Bryce is the same size as Dash. Why is this small dude leading us in rushing? It was terrible, bro. And I think that was a big reason why we lost the game. We couldn't run the ball. That is our strong suit. We're a running team. We couldn't run the ball, and it showed. Bryce like I said, Bryce didn't play his best. He wasn't very accurate with the ball, and it all came to a head, unfortunately. Like I said, we did play good. We almost upset them, but at the end of the game, we just didn't have the juice. Next game in NFC we had was the 49ers beating the Eagles. This is the one where me and Money were on 2 different pages. I thought the Eagles were another team that wasn't that great this year. They had a lot of things going on that it was very in front of our face. And whenever someone shows you something, you can't ignore it. Obviously, it can be an illusion sometimes, but usually when the person shows you their cards, that's what they're playing with. The 49ers beat the Eagles 23-19. Neither the team offense looked well. I think the biggest thing that popped off the screen for me was Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown both played poorly. A.J. Brown was complaining about being involved in the offense and not getting the ball. In the biggest game of the season, you had 3 drops. That's not good enough. The only bright spot they had offensively was Barkley and Devontae Smith. Barkley had 106 yards rushing, and Devontae Smith had 8 catches for 70 yards. So I just thought they looked like a bad team. And the 49ers, they didn't look great. Chris McCaffrey had under 50 yards rushing, but at the end of the day, the Niners offense is going to figure it out because Purdy played all right. I give him his props. He had about 264. So it was some promise from the 49ers offense opposed to the Eagles' promise. Jalen was just sailing balls. Jalen didn't look good either. Like I said, he was just sailing balls, and the ones he did connect on, AJ was dropping it like it's hot. What was your thoughts of the game, Money?
You know why I picked the Eagles, bro. I picked the Eagles only because I felt like the 49ers were too injured. That's the only reason why I picked the Eagles. I was like, the 49ers, did they even have Trent Williams that game? Because Fred Warner's hurt. Nick Bosa's hurt. I don't think they had Trent Williams. So I was like, I don't see them winning this game. That was my only reason. And I was like, the Eagles are bad, but they got to be better than the 49ers. That's barely on the field.
Yeah, they were bad, but the Eagles are worse. You can never, I don't know. I guess football in the South is different. And a lot of people who are from the South understand what I mean when I say that. And I don't mean in the aspect of oh yeah, football in the South is better than everywhere else. It's different because it's such a dictatorship with your coach that the thought of me disrespecting my coach never crossed my mind. Confronting my head coach on the sideline never crossed my mind. I wouldn't, the audacity. When I be hearing these coaches, they be talking about, for example, let's say Matthew Stafford's talking about Sean McVay, right? He was like, yeah, me and Sean get together after games and we talk about things we could have done. Calling that nigga Sean? Never. That's Coach McVay. Never will cross my mind. So the fact that some of these players are just so disrespectful.
But he's about the same age as the coach.
AJ Brown is not the same age.
No. Matt Stafford is dating the same age as his coach.
No, I mean, still though, man, that's not your friend. That is your head coach. So, I mean, I guess this is different in that situation because Stafford's 36, McVay's 40, 42. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they are close in age, but man, the idea of the fact that A.J. Brown confronted this man on the sideline was insane to me. Completely insane.
Did you see the jokes? Dudes were like, A.J. Brown and the coach had to be separated after they met in the locker room. Dudes making jokes like that. I low-key laughed. I'm going to say this, Jay. I couldn't imagine getting in my coach's face like that.
Same.
The coaches back in Florida would have put paws on you if you
That's what I'm saying. But like I said, football in the South is different. I would never. My man, listen, our coach senior year was an alcoholic. You think I'm going to step to this man's face?
I know who you're talking about.
You think I'm going to step to this man? He don't give a fuck about himself. You think he care about me? Nah, I'm good. This dude come around these high school kids drunk. You think he really care about me for real? Not step as that man.
I know you talking about when you made that comment. We ain't gonna say no names, but
Yeah, that nigga, he was an alcoholic. He was good and drunk out there on that practice field in 106-degree weather. Anyways, next game we had was the Bears beating the Packers. Me and Money both had the Bears, but if we're being honest, we did not expect it to be a 21-point comeback. Insane win by the Bears to put it all together. Jordan Love had a good game. He threw for 323 yards and 4 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs, who I've said for a while, I believe he's the best receiver. Money will vouch for me. I've said for a while, like Romeo Doubs is the best receiver out of the bunch of them. They all are good receivers. None of them are great. But if I had to pick one, I always pick Romeo because he's such a pristine route runner and he always finds a way to get open. He doesn't always get the ball. He had 8 grabs for 124 yards and a touchdown. Caleb Williams had other plans, Money. 361. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Colston Loveland looked like the guy I thought he would be. He went brazy, Money. He had 8 grabs for 137 yards. That's the guy I thought he was going to be in the regular season.
Dang.
That's why when I didn't get him in fantasy, I was mad. Like I ended up with Tyler Warren, and Tyler Warren was awesome this year in fantasy. But I thought Colton Loveland was the next big thing. I truly did. From what I saw him do in college, from his play style to the way the Bears play style, it was seamless. And he didn't show until late. He started to come to life. And this game was what I was expecting all year for him.
Let
What
me
do you
ask
think
you
of that
this.
Bears game?
I'm gonna ask you this because somebody said this, and I have to think about it. Has Caleb Williams actually had one game where he's played great in both halves? Because they say he's up and down. They say like he'll play bad the first half, and the second half he's like the game is on Hall of Fame, and then it turns to rookie mode for him on the second half.
He's had some complete games. I mean, but at the same time, we can say the same thing about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's lost games because he was stir fry in the second half, and he's won games because he was stir fry and he was awesome in the second half. This season against the Bucks, he was terrible in the first half. And they came back and had 6 touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing.
Yeah.
So I mean, has he had a game? Honestly, off the top of my head, no, he hasn't had a complete game this year. I want to say he did have one, but I can't recall which one it might have been.
Jay,
but it doesn't matter. It's not how
Jay,
you start.
think about this. That's scary to think about.
Yeah.
This man hasn't had a complete game. He's coming back from 21 points. Imagine what David did to the Packers if he would have played as good as he did in the second half and the first half. It probably wouldn't even been close.
I agree. I agree. And that's why the Bears are definitely the scariest team in these playoffs this year, man, because you don't know what Caleb Williams is going to show up. He's looking like the guy that should have went number 1. Like everyone was so hyped about him because he can make all these plays and do X, Y, and Z. That guy we saw Sunday is the guy they've been talking about.
Yes.
Because I never believed in Caleb until I saw what he did Sunday. I was never a fan of him, but
Jay, you know how I felt about him?
Okay, this is what everyone was talking about.
You know how I felt about him?
Awesome second half.
Yes, awesome game for him. And you know how I felt about him, Jay? You know, I was like, man, you were like, bro, I don't know if he's that good. They're hyping him up, this, and that. And then I'm like, man, like they came. I couldn't even believe they came back.
Yeah, same. I was shocked too because I was like, us looking like a bad pick, Jay. Looking like a bad pick, and then lo and behold, he made it happen.
Yeah.
You ready to do some previews? We got a preview next week.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to have our previews for everybody.
You got it? You want me to go?
Yeah, this is our. Hold on. We're gonna let everybody know this is our previews for everything. We're gonna. So everybody,
having way too much fun with these sounds.
This is our previews. I'm gonna let you go first since I went first last time.
All right. So first we have the 49ers at Seattle. This isn't just another playoff game. This is an NFC West duel that turned into one of the league's most electric rivalries. Seattle beat San Fran 13-3 late in the regular season to clinch the division. giving them the momentum to the first seed, while the 49ers snagged a wild card win on the road. Seattle has a Seattle -7. It's a spread. I like Seattle here, man. They proved that they can beat the Niners multiple times, and they're going to be home. And Seattle is a scary place to play in playoff time. Darnold knows this is an opportunity to get the hate off his back. Everyone's saying that he can't do it when it matters most, because if you remember last year when he was with the Vikings were awesome until Darnold shit the bed. So this is an opportunity to go out there and prove he can be a good playoff performer. I got Seattle winning in this one, man. I got Seattle winning actually 24-14.
I got Seattle winning. My score will be 24-21.
I just think the Niners injury this is where it catches up to them.
I agree.
If you look at the Seattle's team, they're down their left tackle. They got Cross stepping in. Cross is actually a really good backup that I believe could start on a lot of teams in the NFL. So do they lose the starter? Obviously, you never want to lose a starter, but they have a good line, man. They got a really good line. Donald's playing really well. JSN has been telling me he's the best receiver in football all year, so I got to respect what he's doing. Yeah, like I said, the spread is Seattle -7, and it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be an opportunity for Sam to go out there and show his stuff. And unfortunately, CMC is gonna try his best, but that team just doesn't have the juice with all the injuries.
Bro, they got two good running backs too with Seattle. That's something you forgot to mention.
Zach Charbonnet and
K9.
Kenneth Walker. Yes,
that's his nickname, K9.
That's what you call him, K9.
Yeah, that's what you
He
call
look like a pit bull, ugly ass. All right, in the other game we got the Rams at Chicago. It's going to feel like a winner's punch bowl at Soldier Field. Temps are going to be in the teens, wind slicing across the turf, even a sprinkle of snow possible. And that's the advantage to the Bears' habitat, especially late in January. It's expected to be from 8 to 20 degrees money, with wind speeds up to 25 miles per hour or faster. The spread is the Bears +3.5. I'm thinking Chicago being home, this plays to their advantage. But I love Stafford. I think he's on a mission this year. He knows they shouldn't have lost. They knows they shouldn't have played to that level against the Carolina Panthers, barely beating them. I think they're going to bounce back with a huge, not necessarily a huge win, but a huge momentous win, meaning this game is going to lead to more wins because it's going to be a grinded game. It's going to be a grinded out game with the weather being awful. I got the Rams win. I was going to say Seattle, but I got the LA Rams winning here 10-7 in Chicago. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking for this one, Money?
I had the Bears.
Really?
I had the Bears, man. I think this is going to be Caleb Williams' complete game, and he's going to pull it off.
Weather is going to play a factor, Money.
Jay, after he came back from 21 points versus the Packers, bro, I think this might be his year to go in.
We said the same thing about Trevor Lawrence bum ass before he went out there.
I'm just saying, bro.
Until he turned into Trevor turned the ball over. So I think weather games, I believe it comes down to coaching. And McDonald's a great coach. Can't take it from him. What he's done with the Seattle team, he deserves applause. He deserves all the respect. But I believe Sean McVay is the better coach. I believe Sean McVay has the better quarterback. I believe Sean McVay has the better offense.
You mean Ben Johnson? You said McDonald.
It's the Rams.
No.
I'm thinking of
Yeah, you were saying Seattle coach. Yeah,
Ben Johnson. Yeah, Ben Johnson has done great with these Bears teams. And if you're looking at what he's doing, yeah, I do believe that the Rams have more juice than the Bears in this situation. They got the better coaching staff, like I said, the better quarterback. I think the Rams will be able to grind this one out. They'll be more prepared than the Bears.
Okay. We'll have to see. I might be wrong. But, man, you dang that might have convinced me to almost change my pick, man. You might have convinced, you know what, bro, I'm going to have to change my pick because the reason why I'm changing my pick is because I keep forgetting that they have Puka and Devontae Adams over there with the Rams. So I'm going to have to change my pick, bro.
I'm thinking about this being a high-flying game. This weather ain't going to allow it, man. I'm telling you.
It's not always the high flying. It's the fact that they have veterans. They have more veterans over there. And so I was like, you got Puka, then you got Devontae Adams, and then you got Kyron Williams. Yeah, I'm out to go
And
with
another
those.
thing too, neither running back played well last week. Swift had 14 carries for like 40 some yards, and Kyron Williams also had like 14 carries for 55 yards. Neither one of those guys played to the level that we know they can play. So this is going to be their opportunity to prove who has the better running back. But yeah, I think this game is going to definitely come down to coaching, and I think the Rams have the better coaches than the Bears.
Okay. Yeah, I have to agree with you because Sean McVay has been there, bro. He's won a bowl.
Yeah.
I'll say
Johnson was a game away as a coordinator. So
yeah, I'll say we have to go over to the AFC, Broncos, Bills, and then the Pats, Texans. Broncos versus Bills. I think the Broncos are going to pull it off, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? You thinking Bills? Their defense, bro, they're home. You know how great their defense always is. Like, didn't you tell me they had like what the second best or the best defense in the league when they're home?
Yeah, we also saw Trevor Lawrence go out there and make that mean nothing. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Denver too. I'm not gonna lie. I had this being Denver versus the Jags, but as we both know, that's not happening. So yeah, I got.
You know what, Jay? Denver and the Jags when I played.
Who would have been? It would have been.
It'd have been a Broncos versus Texans because
you're right. It would have been the Texans.
The Broncos got the higher seed, so they're gonna play the lower one.
So yeah, I think CJ Stroud hasn't been playing good this year, so it's going to be definitely Denver. Denver's going to do something.
You mean Josh Allen?
I mean, yeah, Josh Allen. I'm confused. Wait, isn't it supposed to be playing?
No, Broncos Bills because
Broncos Bills.
Yeah, the Bills are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I had to miss Roan down. That's my mistake. Yes, Broncos Bills. I don't think Josh Allen defense is going to have his back as much as it needs to, and I think the Buffalo offense is better, but I think Denver defense is better. And Josh Allen's been a roller coaster the past 3 games. So I think he's going to make a costly turnover. As you like to say, PS2 is going to make a huge play. Yeah, I got Denver coming out on top.
Yeah. What about Pats versus Texans? I'm picking Texans, bro.
Wow.
I'm picking Texans.
No, I believe in Drake May. I'm a big Drake May believer. I like the Patriots here. Although that Texans defense is sensational and Drake May was questionable last week as far as play, I think CJ Stroud has been more questionable as far as play. And I think it's going to come down to which quarterback can make more plays, and CJ Stroud is going to be able to make as many plays as Drake May.
I'm not picking Texans because of CJ. I'm picking Texans because of that defense.
Yeah, defense is scary.
That's why I'm picking the Texans.
They got the best secondary in the league, one of the best pass rushers in the league as well. So
Will Anderson's an all-pro.
Yeah,
I'm picking. That's why I'm picking Texans, bro, because of that
defense for sure. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So, so we would have Broncos versus Texans, and my bracket, and yours would be Broncos versus Pats.
Yeah.
You want to make your Super Bowl picks, or you want to give it away, or you want to give it a week?
I mean, I've already lost my Super Bowl pick. I picked the sorry ass Jags, so I guess I will pick my NFC team, which will be. I think I had the Rams playing them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I still got it written down.
Mine was Seahawks.
Yeah, it was the Rams. It was Jags over Rams. So I'm going to pivot to the Rams. Hopefully the Rams can pull it off.
Yeah, I'm having Seahawks beat the Bears, and then I'm having the Texans beat the Broncos. I'm going to have Broncos, Seahawks in the Super Bowl. And if that happened, I'm picking Seahawks because I don't think they have anybody on their team that can stop that wide receiver in Seattle.
You don't
looking
think
like the best.
PS2 can do something with him?
I had
PS2 is
no.
DPOY, bro.
I had the Texans beating the Broncos.
Oh,
So I had the
they got
Texans.
what is his name? Shipley, sir.
Yeah, Stingley. Is it
Stingley. Yeah, I knew it was something with S. Stingley, he was all pro. They had that safety who should have been an all pro. Pietri, number 5, whatever. He's really good.
I think Sam Darnold has something to prove this year, bro.
No, he's for sure do.
That's why I'm like, them two got something to prove this year. Then they had that tight end Bonner, I think, and then they got K9, bro, and Charbonnet.
Charbonnet, like the wine, bro.
Oh, Charbonnet. They got K9 and Charbonnet, bro.
I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's gonna be another good week of football. Somebody gonna walk away very disappointed that their season's over. Yeah. The last thing we got. Go ahead and do your drum roll, bro.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. We got the coach search for everybody. Yeah, hold on. I gotta set my drum roll up, bro.
That was not a drum roll. There it is.
There it is.
Right. First one I got. Mike Tomlin steps down as head coach of the Steelers after 19 seasons. It was time, money. It was time, bro. He has a 2-6 playoff record since 2016. He lost in the wild card round 3 years in a row. He's not that great of a coach to me. I'm just gonna say it. He's not that great of a coach to me. He won a Super Bowl with the old head coach team that he took over in his second year. Having a winning record every year and getting your ass kicked in the first round does not mean you're a great coach. Tomlin plans on taking a year off, and if he decides to coach after that, I'm sure someone's going to give him a job. And I think
they got a trade for him, Jay.
Huh?
You got a trade for him.
Oh, because he's still on the contract?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm sure someone's going to be foolish enough to give him another opportunity when he wants to come back. But he showed us he can't do anything without a top 10 quarterback.
Let me ask you.
He had Aaron Rodgers, who's 76 years old, had some moments. But he hasn't. The Steelers haven't looked like a dominant team since Big Ben was a good quarterback.
Do you think the Steelers get a good head coach? Because it's like you're looking at it like, am I going to be a 1-year wonder head coach, and then they're going to fire me when Tomlin want to come back? Because I think that situation can cost them a chance to get a great coach, because the coaches are like, hey, he's still technically didn't retire. He just said, I'm gonna step away for a year.
I think the contract becomes like not null and void, but null and void because you stepped away. You weren't fired. The contract wasn't terminated. You said, hey, I'm backing out on this. So it's kind of like with Sean Payton, how he stepped away from the game.
But he got traded.
So I think they still will have his rights. So he probably will have to be traded due to having years on his contract. But
you know what he went for, right? You know what he went for, right?
I don't remember. It was a while ago.
A first round pick.
Yeah.
And you guess who they got that first from? The Dolphins. You know how they got the Broncos got the first from the Dolphins? Because of the Bradley Chubb trade.
The Bradley Chubb, yeah.
That's how I remember, bro.
So we'll see, though. We'll see what happens in the year from now. Probably not holding my breath on it. But if Tomlin wants to coach again, like I said, someone's going to give him a job. Someone's going to trade for him because they think he's one of the greatest ever. Anything else you want to say about Tomlin?
I'm gonna say, I liked him as a man because he had no scandals, he had nothing crazy, he had no blow-ups. Like he was a model citizen as a coach. Was he the greatest coach? No, but as a person, he's a model citizen because there's
a lot of coaches out there like that. We can't just say that because he's a black head coach. There's a lot of coaches that do nothing. Andy Reid's a model citizen. He had no standards, but we can't sit here and give him that caveat for black. That's part of the reason we're measured to a different scale, being black and having black head coaches. Like, oh, he did good staying out of trouble.
No.
He's expected to stay out of trouble. As a model human being in the USA.
My main thing with him is Um, he's strict, but he ain't gonna play no games with you.
I disagree with that. AB was showing his ass in the locker room.
And he got cut.
George Pickens was showing his ass in the locker room.
Okay,
Juju was dancing on the middle of the fields. He had no control over his locker room.
Okay, after that, I can't even say nothing about it because AB he got him up out of there. George Pickens got him up out of there. Juju's up out of there too. They all up out of there.
Because eventually your production has to match the tolerant. Can your production match what we're tolerating? Once we can't tolerate your production isn't matching no more, it's done. And their production wasn't matching. Juju shined as a number 2 receiver. Then when they gave him the number 1 job, he was stir fry.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking more forward to seeing what happens with him in this situation. Like I agree with you, he wasn't a great coach, even though he didn't have any losing seasons. You're getting stumped in the first round. It's like what are we doing? Like we're just a first round exit every year.
Yeah,
like
every year.
Let me at least get to the next round.
I would give him kudos if he got to the next round. That's why I said he's no different than Mike McCarthy. Everyone tries to throw dirt on Mike McCarthy's name when their record before the season money was very similar. You remember we did the breakdown? It was like a 3 or 4 win difference, and they had damn near identical playoff records.
Yeah.
So
and they both got a chip.
They both got 1 Super Bowl. Exactly. So that just doesn't make any sense to me, but here we are. Harbaugh was fired from Baltimore, and he has officially taken the job as the head coach for the Giants. What is your thoughts on this, Money?
My thoughts are he better hope Jackson Dart stay healthy, because if not, he will be fired.
He is launching himself head first into opponents.
Yes. I'm going to say, when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, here's how I'm going to look at it. If I looked at where I would go compared to where he went, I would have went to the Raiders. I'm going to just be real with you. And it has the fact that I get a quarterback, number 1 pick, and you give me Bowers? I got Bowers? And a quarterback, Mendoza and Bowers?
You do not believe in Mendoza.
Bruh. Mendoza and Bowers, bruh. And then I know you
can have me from the Brock Bowers. It doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball.
Hey Jay.
It's the other guys who need to step up too. You need a quarter. Gino was throwing to Bowers, and we saw how that looked.
I'm gonna say this. I know you don't like him, but
you don't like him either, right? You trying to say like I'm the only person who dislikes him. You don't care for him either.
They got Genty in the backfield. I'm talking about Genty.
Bring it up, damn Ashton Genty, the 5'7" wonder boy.
That's who I'm talking about. You don't like.
Yeah, Mendoza's not the savior. Maybe I'm wrong with him. Maybe he might do something, but he's been great in his system, and I think a lot of guys are system players, and that Cignetti system is different. I think Cignetti is one of the best college football coaches right now since Saban, and he's showing it. He's showing it with his system working. He brought in his guys who were the same thing he was doing at James Madison, and he's doing it at Indiana, and it's showing it works.
Let me ask you this. Where would you have picked if you were Harbaugh?
Where would I want to go?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I think Miami's a good destination. Bring Lamar with me. Lamar gets to go home. He gets a new scenery. But then again, I'm hearing they don't have a good relationship. So maybe that was
No. I was hearing that the relationship wasn't with Harbaugh, it was with the offensive coordinator. And guess what happened? When Harbaugh went to the Giants, he brought his offensive coordinator with him. So
he took the OC with him?
Yes, that's what I was hearing. Lamar had a problem with the OC. That was the big thing. Not Harbaugh, the OC. So I think that
it's been times, Money. You know who the only team was to get fined for falsifying practice reports and injury report documentation?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. You know why? Because Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh are not on the same page. Harbaugh saying, "Oh yeah, he'll be back next week," and then he doesn't play Sunday. Lamar Jackson's not practicing, but you're saying he's practicing. They're not aligned. They did not have a good relationship.
Okay, so it could have been both then at that point.
Yeah, because it got bad, and it seemed like Harbaugh had lost the locker room too. Lamar Jackson was the clear leader, and all the players were seeming to side with Lamar, which is why you had to get rid of Harbaugh. I think this team has potential, has a lot of young good players.
Yeah,
and he probably has the best receiver that he's coached in the past 10 years.
Hey Jay, the biggest two is Dart and your running back Scatterbo. And it's like, can them two still stay healthy? Because Neighbors is a bowler. It's
Neighbors
those
has
two.
to stay healthy too, man. Did you forget he was hurt this year?
Yeah, ACL. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, but like I was saying, he has the best receiver he's probably had in 10 years. If you look at the Ravens wide receivers, they haven't been very good. I think he had a Steve Smith for one good season. Other than that, he has Malik Neighbors. Everyone thinks highly of. He doesn't have as good as QB. Lamar Jackson compared to Dart. Lamar had a 63 QBR last year. Dart had a 58 QBR. So Lamar's obviously the better quarterback, but Dart's going into year 2. I don't think he's terrible. I think he has a lot of potential. And I actually like Dart. You know that I was saying pre-draft, I wanted him to go to Oakland. So if he would have went to Oakland with those weapons, Raiders would probably be my Super Bowl pick. Harbaugh is the head coach. Jackson Dart is the quarterback. With your God, Ashton Genty in the backfield, Brock Bowers.
No, they couldn't have got Genty. Because they only
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Even without Genty, bro, he's not. Yeah. If
you
would have had Dart
you
still, Brock Bowers.
You could have went and got Love next year. And you would have had a running back if you wanted a running back that bad.
You could have had definitely a good squad in Oakland for sure. Jonathan Gannon fired. He was the Cardinals head coach, if you didn't know that, Money. He was a product of Kyler not showing up. It goes to show your quarterback can get you as far as he can get himself. Kyler would start the seasons off hot. I remember one year the Cardinals started off 8-0. They proceeded to lose 2 out of the 5 of their next games. They went 2-5 in their next 7 games, and they're a bad team. It got so bad there, he benched Kyler. They put Kyler on IR, but even if Kyler came back, he was not playing, which is why Kyler elected to stay on IR. Because you know how disrespectful it is being the guy who's considered the franchise quarterback, and you're on the sideline in street clothes and you're healthy. Yeah, it was bad. Gannon's a bad coach, I think. Kyler sadly doesn't look like he's that guy. And I'm 90% sure he won't be a Cardinal next year.
Let me ask you this. Does he get cut or traded? What's your prediction?
He gets traded. His contract's too big to cut him. I don't know what's with you trying to be in salary cap hell. This is why you're not a GM. Because every time we talk about a team moving off a quarterback, your instant thought, cut his ass. I'm not trying to be in the whole 150 million.
Hey, Jay,
who's always want to cut some goddamn body? Who doesn't matter.
The question is, who's going to take that contract? You're gonna have to
take them. Pittsburgh is stupid. They'll take it. I can see Pittsburgh taking them. Who's another team?
Jay, you might have to give us something valuable to get off of that contract.
More than likely, yeah. You probably will. I can see Pittsburgh is a team that needs a quarterback. Cleveland needs a quarterback. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Shador. But I can see that's a potential landing spot. Minnesota needs a quarterback. And it's a dome. Kyler gets to stay in the dome. He ain't got to worry about playing in cold weather. So it's a couple land spots. The Saints, but then again, I think they like Shuck. So maybe that's not a good spot. And speaking of the Browns, Kevin Stefanski was fired. He won Coach of the Year twice, but Coach of the Year is a bias award. You win Coach of the Year because your team is expected to be sorry, and then they're not as bad as everyone expected them to be. How many times has Andy Reid won Coach of the Year?
Can't name it.
You know what I'm saying? How many times has Sean McVay won Coach of the Year?
He probably won it once, maybe.
We can go old school, Money. How many times do you think Bill Belichick won Coach of the Year?
Tony Dungy won Coach of the Year.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because they're expected to be bad. So you only win the award if your team is expected to be terrible. And I think with the Browns are always expected to be terrible, which is why they won the award. Which is why he won the award. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he's a bad judge of character because the GM and the owner really wanted Shador there, which is why he picked him. You can't go against your order. You can't throw a fit. You can't be visibly against your starting quarterback. It was insane. It was times where McVay wouldn't even speak to him, or he'll be talking about him in a press conference and he wouldn't even say his name. That bothered the hell out of me. You can't say your quarterback's name. Oh yeah, the kid played good, and then his first win as a starter, the first rookie quarterback to win their first start in over 30 years for the franchise, he doesn't get a game ball. He can't get a freaking football.
Yeah,
it was bad. He deserved to be fired.
He's getting head coaching offers. Like teams are actually bringing him in.
Job.
You got to be kidding me, bro.
Yeah, he's currently the favorite to land the Falcons job.
Way.
Raheem Morris was fired, which I didn't think he deserved to be fired. He was fired, but I believe they kept the GM, who was the one that took.
No, they fired both of them.
They fired both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I saw somebody playing on keeping.
Jay, guess who's the new president of the Falcons? Former quarterback of the Falcons. Jake Long was taking over him.
Jake Long was taking over this quarterback?
Yes. Miami had the first pick and they took Jake Long. Matt Ryan,
he's going to be the GM.
He's the president.
Okay. I mean, Matt Ryan, no ball. That's not a bad decision, actually. His first job. I think he'll do well. I think he was a decent quarterback. He won MVP. He know ball. At least from seeing him commentate the games, he seems like he knows ball. So I don't think that's a bad decision. Do you not like it?
No, I was wondering if you knew because I
didn't know Matt Ryan got the job. I don't think that's a bad decision. He should do good in that.
And I was like, yeah, he should know. But I think he'd do a good job. But I'm like, Kevin, come on, man. This dude is not a good coach. And after what he did to his quarterback, why would you give him another young quarterback to deal with?
Exactly. That he doesn't believe in. So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, he's currently the favorite to land that job. The Eagles fired their OC, Kevin Patullo. We saw that coming. The offense
was deserve it?
Abysmal. He 100% deserved it. He was terrible. Part of me feels like he got scapegoated, but at the same time, though, that offense was terrible all year long. Saquon Barkley didn't look like Saquon Barkley, but it comes with it. He had over 400 touches. If you look at the history of the NFL and running backs who go over 400 touches, they 99.9% of the time fall off the next year. It was only one player who didn't fall off the next year.
Who?
And so it was I want to say it was either Peterson or Barry. It was one of them dudes.
So a Hall of Fame running back.
Exactly. Okay. So you're gonna fall off. And it's not to say Barkley can't be a Hall of Famer, but it's just how it works. When you get that many carries, and it's not that I think he's washed. I'm not saying that. He
still had a good year.
He had a good year, but some people was expecting him to duplicate that. It's hard to duplicate that.
I didn't think so.
So the way I looked at it was, I don't think he had a bad year, or I don't think he's washed. I think he's tired.
Yes.
I think he's literally tired. So I think them leaving early is good for him. He's going to get their well-needed rest. Their O-line was banged up too, so you'll get those guys back next year. And then Jalen Hurts is going to get his 17th offensive coordinator in his 4-year career. So, yeah, I don't – it was Tom, though. He was bad. He was bad with them.
I think so.
Yeah. Washington fired both of their coordinators. They got rid of Joe Witt Jr., their DC, and Cliff Kingsbury. They mutually parted ways. Yeah. I was a little surprised by Kingsbury getting the boot because, him and Jalen looked like they had a good relationship. This was the same coordinator that helped get the offense to the number 3 most efficient offense last year, to the NFC Championship game, to now you're on a firearm a year later. So a little surprised by that one. Joe Witt deserved to be fired. They were terrible last year defensively. They were even worse this year, which I didn't think was possible. You remember I was telling you money. So they were horrible. He deserved to get fired. Another one, Chargers fired Greg Roman, their OC. Greg Roman was brought over from Baltimore, which – the Harbaugh brothers, they keeping it all in the family. Greg Roman was good at creating an offense for Lamar Jackson.
Herbert, too.
I don't think he was good. I thought the offense was stale this year for the Chargers. You thought the Chargers had a good offense this year?
I thought it was decent compared to what they lost. They lost both of their tackles for part of the year.
We gotta start giving them this.
But I'm gonna say, no matter what, Justin Herbert does have to play better.
He
Like,
has to.
you're paid like a franchise quarterback, and I'll say Greg Roman did the best of what he was given, but I think he still could have did a lot better.
Yeah, I disagree. I think Greg Roman did a poor job. I don't think this Charger offense was that great. It started off good, and then it slowly started to become like, okay, you're getting predictable. Okay, what are you going to do now? And it's like when players go out, you have to adjust. And as an OC, I felt he didn't make any type of adjustments to not having certain guys in. He was calling plays for, guys who ain't been in the game. You can't run a deep ball with a 47-year-old Keenan Allen. You got to adjust. And I feel like he wasn't making those appropriate adjustments. So that
But
led
he
to
was
him
doing
being fired.
good with being on his third string running back at one point.
Yeah, he Kimani Vidal did good, but like you said, the O-line started to deal with injuries, and your quarterback was playing inconsistent as well. So all that plays a part. And so Greg Roman got the boot. Dallas fired DC Matt Eberflus, which is another one that was well deserved. But at the same time, though, to be fair, I think Matt Eberflus is a bad coach. Before I even say what I'm about to say, I think he's a bad coach. Period. He showed us that in Chicago. He had us thinking Caleb was a bust. He also started off with a hell of a setback. You go into a situation like, yo, I got one of the best pass rushers in the NFL on my team. To before the season even started, next thing you know, I just lost one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. and now you're expecting me to do something with this team. Trayvon Diggs has been terrible. Deron Bland got hurt again.
Diggs got released.
That's what I'm saying. He eventually got released, but he wasn't playing well, and then he got hurt. So yeah, he was in a very poor situation. But even with that being said, the defense could have been better. There was a couple games they lost truly because their defense just didn't show up.
Jay, we said they were going to have a bad defense right when they traded Parsons. We already knew
for sure. It was very clear that Parsons was holding that defense together with it. Like the Chiefs offense. Once Pat went out, it was very clear. Like I've been saying it, and me and you understood it, but people actually seeing firsthand, like the Chiefs offense was never that great.
Yes.
It was Patrick Mahomes making it great. And people don't realize how great he is. A lot of people try to discredit Patrick. He was holding that terrible team together with Scotch tape and Elmer's glue. And the moment he went out, they were terrible. How do you lose to the Titans, Money, unless you're just a terrible team?
Hey, Jay, they were down to their third straight quarterback. That's how bad it was.
They had Chris Adokin out there. So yeah, it was rough for them. Rough all year.
Maybe Pat gets some much needed rest. Because he's been far in the playoffs every single season.
He's played more games than anyone else, correct.
And he finally gets some good talent this time because they're picking 12 or 13. So he gets good talent.
Draft, yeah.
They might take a running back. We'll have to see.
The last time they picked this early, they got a really good player named Patrick Mahomes. So hopefully they can turn this pick into another great player for them as well. But that's all I got, Money. That's all the coaches involved in the coaches carousel currently.
That's all I have too. I'll say we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in with us. This is our first live. Let us know what you think. We might do more. I'm going to say make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm Money with my partner, co-host.
Jason HD, aka Two Wavy Jason. Follow us on social medias. Follow Money on Twitch. Follow me. I have a gaming channel as well, Jason_HD. And yeah, leave a comment. Please subscribe if you're new. Like Money just said, all those good things.
Y'all take it easy.
Peace.